Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about basically when all of your dates have been bad so far. So you've been on a few dates, they haven't been very successful. Perhaps the people that you've gone out with have been problematic in some way. It might be the case that you've had interest in them, but they've rejected you or they haven't wanted to carry on dating you, or it could be the opposite. Perhaps you go out with someone and they become super needy and you realize that, hey, you know what, I'm not really that into them. So there can be a few things that you can do to help this situation. So the first thing that I want to talk about is you need to get clear on what you want in a romantic partner, because it might be the case that you're just dating the wrong people and you're not looking out for the right things for you. So I highly recommend that you watch this video on how to attract the right partner, because that will really help you with that kind of thing. But basically, just to give you an overview, what you need to do is you need to realize what your deal breakers are. You need to realize what you value, what your lifestyle is, and find someone who likes and has the same kind of lifestyle, has the same kind of values as you. So, for example, if you want to be with someone who is into, if you're really into health and fitness, then you should probably be with someone who is also into health and fitness, because there's no point, if you're really into health and fitness, you dating a party animal, right? Because there's going to be lots of conflict there. And also you need to be with the right kind of person when it comes to life values, like the things that you want in life, because you might be someone who doesn't want to have kids. So if you don't want to have kids, then when you're dating someone, you need to, be asking them questions about what their thoughts are on family, because it might be the case that they really want kids, right? And you need to ask these questions pretty soon, because otherwise there might be some heartbreak either from you or from them, because either they're going to go with your plan of not having kids and then they regret it for their whole life, or you're going to go into that relationship and you're going to get kids, and you agree with them, and you're going to be miserable because that's not what you wanted. So you need to really get super clear on what your lifestyle is and kind of have someone who has the same kind of lifestyle. Something really important as well is like, what time do you like to go to bed? Like if you are an early riser and you like to go to bed at, let's say, like 9 or 10, and you like to get up at 5 so you can go for a run, there's no point you being with someone who likes to stay up until 2 playing video games, or eats really unhealthy food, especially if you're into health as well. So you need to find someone who doesn't mind going to the bed at the same time as you, doesn't mind getting up at the same time as you, although that's not important, especially if you have your own things that you like to do in the morning. That doesn't matter too much. But you don't want to be with someone who's climbing into bed, waking you up at 2 a.m. or something like that when you need to get up early and things like, because I know it sounds kind of small, but you need to be asking lifestyle questions to your dates. And pre-qualifying, because usually, especially if you're on dating apps, you should be able to tell, they'll tell you some of the things that they like and they dislike and things like that. And, when you're chatting to them, when you're out on a date, you need to be asking them questions about, who they are, what their lifestyle is, what they value in life, what they want, what are their hobbies, what are the things that they like to do on the weekends. Because it might be for you that on the weekends, when you're not at work or whatever, you like to just chill, you like to be at home. But they might be a busybody. They might like to host parties and go out and, stay out until 3 a.m. and stuff like that. So you need to get really clear, because if you're with someone like that, you're going to clash. It's not going to work out. It's going to be a toxic environment for both of you. I'm not saying that any of those things are wrong or right, but you need to be with the same like-minded people, basically. Otherwise, you're just going to end up miserable. Either you're going to be miserable, or they're going to be miserable, or you're both going to be miserable, which usually happens anyway if one of them is more miserable anyway. So the next thing I want to talk about is when it comes to dating, it's really important that you persist, right? There's no point you just going on 1 or 2 dates a year and thinking, it never works out for me, right? You need to go on multiple dates. You need to keep on dating until you find the right person. Because the good news is that you only need to find one, especially if you want a monogamous relationship. Like if you're polyamorous, then perhaps it won't matter so much about how many people you date. But most people, luckily, just want to be with one person for their entire life. So you only need to find one good fit, right? That's the good news. You only need to find one. But you might have to go through a lot of people in order to find someone who is a decent match for you, right? It makes sense. So you can't be sitting there complaining that your dates always end badly when you've only been on 2 in the last 12 months. You need to go on, if you're dating, then I would say, ideally, you want to try and aim for, you might not always hit it, or there might be a case you get more, but try and aim to get 2 dates. Now, like I said, it might be the case that 1 month you can only go on 1 date, or you might go on no dates. and next month you might go on 3 or 2, but try and aim to go on 2 dates a month if you are with new people, if you are trying to find someone to settle down with, have a family with, and find a romantic partner, basically. Try and go on 2 dates a month, because if you're just sitting there and you're complaining that your dates never go well, but you've only been on 2 dates in the last 12 months or 3 years, then you've got nothing to complain about. You're not dating enough. You're not meeting enough people. So get on those dating apps. Start qualifying people if they're good enough for you to go on a date with. Look at their likes and their dislikes on their profile. Don't just date someone because they look hot. Look at what they like in life. And when you're on a date with someone, even if they look absolutely stunning, if they're a 10 out of 10, when it comes to the way that they look, just realize that that's just a surface level thing. It all depends. Obviously, it's good that you're attracted to them, but it also, the lifestyle is important, the likes and the hobbies are important. So I'm not saying that things need to be 100% perfect, but the big things, the big deal breakers do need to be perfect. You've got to be, especially when it comes to kids, when it comes to marriage, all these big life things. It's really, really important. And the main lifestyle of the person that you're with, right? It has to be, that kind of stuff is really super important. And you got to understand, as well, like, what is important to you, like what is important to you in your life. So for you, example, you might be like a really hardcore fan of like anime, and anime is really, really important to you, and you love going to like Comic-Con and comic books like conventions and stuff. You like to go to Japan or stuff like that, and your life kind of revolves around this hobby. Then you also need to find someone who has the same kind of interest in that kind of thing, because if not, and your life is surrounded by this hobby and they're not really that into it, then it's going to be miserable, right? You're not going to have a fun time. So it might not be the case that you're a super fan, or you have like a really big fanatic enthusiasm towards something, and that's fine, obviously. But if you do, then you need to find someone who is also like that, right? So it's really important that you get the right fit, because it might be the case that you're just going on dates with people who are just completely inappropriate for you, and they just, because you're focusing on things that aren't important, like the way that they look. Now, it is obviously important that you're attracted to them, but I'm telling you, I'm not saying that you should go with someone who you're not physically attracted to. You should pick a partner who, who you are attracted to and they're attracted to you, and you have similar goals, similar values, similar lifestyle, similar hobbies. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to just stick with someone who you're not attracted to. You can have it. You can have everything, basically. You can have it the way that you want it. So someone that you're attracted to and someone who is similar to you, right? So it's really important that you do that. So that's going to help you, hopefully, get better at dating, qualifying people better. And when it comes down to it, you just got to persist. You just got to keep on dating until you find the right person. And that's what you got to do, basically. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.